Welcome back to the channel. Look at the weather, folks. It is about the 18th of March and we've got clear skies, and as you'll know if you've looked at the weather, it's actually Arctic air again, so it's really cold. -2, -4 forecast for this evening. So despite the sunshine, 2 jackets on, merino long sleeve top, thermal t-shirt, microfiber, synthetic fleece basically, down jacket underneath the wax coat. The gun's starting to get quite rusty, isn't it? The old 25 pounder. So there were 3 of these when we were kids across where the swimming pool was built, because that obviously was all the former barracks, the officers' quarters there. Anyway, what a day though. It's beautiful, isn't it? So what we'll do, we'll head out of town. I'm actually waiting to cut my mum's grass today. Go help her out. Even though it's frosty tonight, it's not a bad thing cutting the garden grass because it knocks the growth back. There's methods in our greenkeeping madness. You wouldn't do it on a golf course, but on a garden it's fine. So the DJI Action 5 Pro, I'm really impressed with the width of the camera, the lens. This is just on wide setting, not super wide. So what I've got, when I'm sitting in the Jeep, you can see either side of me and the Jeep, which is actually a really good view. Switch my indicator off. So I was talking about, too much talking and not riding. So apparently the plans are in to either pedestrianise or one-way this road now. It's just went a bit stupid, all this traffic cam and more access for pedestrians and bikes nonsense, but we'll not go on about that. We'll get thrown off of YouTube for being opinionated apparently. Yeah, it is a cool air, but what a day, isn't it? Beautiful. So obviously the 20 doesn't apply to the car behind. You'll see him in the camera. He just about tailgated me there. So when folk do that, I just slow down. That's quite simple. So I spy the greenkeepers up ahead. Is that one of my mates? I think it's Neil cutting teas. Yeah, it's Neil. So that's Neil I used to work with. Right, I'm going to pull in here and go back round and say hello to him. I'm going to have a chat with him, and then I'll come back when I... Traffic lights everywhere nowadays. I'm not actually sure what they're actually ever doing. I'm going to do an actual video about the carry-on across the road there with the new pavement that's been made for cyclists and walkers, and the cost it must be, ridiculous cost it will be. Anyway, that's for another film. Unbelievable. Anyway, here we go. So I'm just going to go up the Hales Castle Road, the wee back road here. Now I need to remember to stop shouting because I have a microphone now. So here's what they're building. New fancy pavements. Very good, eh? Still just catching up with my old work pal Neil down at Winterfield. That place is going to look amazing in a couple of months' time. Look at the weather, folks. Absolutely stunning. So I wasn't sure how I'd get on with the mic because my visor doesn't fully lock when it shuts, it doesn't seal. It's obviously open at the bottom. I'll have a bit look at that with my mobile phone to let you see. But yeah, I thought the footage sounded okay. On my computer it sounded like the noise of the motorbike and Jeep wasn't loud enough, but when I played it on our TV, we just got a 1080 stereo TV and it sounded fine. A wee bit noise in here. Brilliant. So you know, everything's just about to explode. You know, the buds will all be out on the trees over the next 2-3 weeks. The hedgerows as well. It's just that funny time in March, you still get cold weather as well. And then mild spells. Get all types of weather. Funny, eh? Because there you go. I was always told to step off the roads when I'm out in the country. It's the courteous thing to do. So it's a lovely cycle or a walk up that wee glen there. It's like a small glen, but there is a stream. It's an old road, which actually is a continuation. That's all I've got to get my old maps out for, like you see all this sort of stuff. So I'll just take it easy around here. So the Harris fencing still around Hales Castle, sadly. The gravel. So what else have I been up to? I've been watching quite a bit of YouTube, catching up on the channels. I'll do when I'm in the garage. I'm going to read through all the folk I subscribe to and what I like about their channels, and might give them some more folk to go and watch. I really enjoyed Volcanic Brown's latest film. He's talking about his V350 Bullet, an Indian made one, and how what it is basically identical to the 1958 Royal Enfields that were made first of all in India, which were identical to Britain. And all that's changed with those bikes is they've got bikini carburetors and the wait till we're around the corner here. The charger system's changed as well to an alternator, as we have on modern bikes. But yeah, and he just loves that bike, and he says it's, and I thought, well, the modern equivalent of that bike is this bike. And as you know, I don't care about the speed of these. And I've racked my brains looking at other bikes to look at potentially buy. And adventure bikes are quite interesting because the smaller ones, 400s, 450s, they're all you need nowadays, the speed they can do. And they're brilliant on all these roads. And I never realised how cheap you could buy the smaller ones for until I watched Nathan the Postman's latest film. And he's done basically small adventure bikes for £2,500. And they've got the 300s, well I think it's a 311, isn't it, the small BMW bike. And just talking about them. Anyway, go and watch that as well, it's a good film. Right, I'm going to switch off because we're going up to we've got a 40 here for about 2 miles. I'll catch up the Garrelton roads. Okay, we'll see you up there. I just passed someone in a big white van. I wasn't sure it was, I got a wave. So, hello whoever it was, say hello in the comments. Someone obviously watches the channel. So I'm not sure how the sound will be today because I'm talking my earplugs in, as well as the buff over my mouth. But hopefully it's okay. So I'm actually off today and tomorrow. I've got a couple of days holiday to take to use up for the end of this month. So when I seen the forecast, I thought I'd take this week. Because although frosty and salt at nights, it's still beautiful. I don't care about the road salt because, as you know, I ride my bike all year and it's all been treated for that anyway. Hence why it's not been washed yet. That's Barney Hill up on the right, where the transmitter is. There's a narrow sea bunker up there as well, which is obviously one of the ones that was filled in. That was Athelston Ford post. A Cold War monitoring post, as they were called. And they'd be manned during a hot crisis, you might want to call it. And they'd monitor the wind speeds and directions, and if there was a blast, the strength of the blast. And it was how they could predict where the fallout would move, so where they knew where to evacuate. It's beautiful, isn't it, here? See all the gorse out in flower now as well. There's Gullen Hill straight ahead. You don't know how much you'll see on the camera. It is like the GoPro, miles away it's kind of invisible. We've been on holiday this week. The Wednesday films went up on a Tuesday because I'm going to have extra films made this week. So the time you've seen this, you'll have seen Wednesday's Jeep film, Tuesday's Jeep film, Wednesday's film on Tuesday, you know what I mean. And I'm just thinking, I've actually got a brake light that now hopefully is going to keep working on my Jeep. It's actually been intermittent since I've owned it. You won't believe that. I've been driving it about a lot of the time with not a brake light working, which is a great thing. I just love East Lothian. I mean, I've lived here all my life, but I don't want to live anywhere else. Just love it. And a bike of this power is more than enough for puttering around safely. So I look forward to the feedback from that garage film where I've asked about some thoughts on a couple of feature films I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put my drone up over all the villages as well, of coming down the coast from Wallyford, Prestonpans, Londonderry, Aberlady, Gullen, Dunnelton, North Berwick. How does that sound, folks? Then I'll finish overlooking Dunbar with the drone. Just still pictures. And of the sizes of all these towns compared to, say, 10 years ago. And it's not about a grumble about the people who live in these houses, by the way, because people need housing and they need to live somewhere. It's about the lack of infrastructure that's being built and what the houses are getting built on. Remember, this is East Lothian. This is like the prime agricultural land of Scotland. This was the Garden of Scotland. I don't think it really is now. As I say, there's no skint farmers in East Lothian. That's for sure. Not when they can buy nice Range Rovers for their wives to do the school run in. Anyway. So when we were kids, there was an army lorry sat on the top of that hill with an aerial mast on it. And I don't know if it was a post-war thing for like radio hams, but I remember always seeing it. And then when the last time I walked up there was still the 4 indentations in the ground with the wheels had sunk into the ground. I remember it was an old Bedford. Something's going on in here. This is Bangley Quarry. There's a load of plant machinery in it. And I think the quarry is finished, but the area inside's getting used for something else. But these are all these sort of things I'm going to do when the lighter nights come in. See, they've been working the ground up the top, see that? So you can't go into these places for health and safety, but you can fly your drone up to have a peek. So again, another delivery van up my chuff. It's going down the road, that's fine. So I was going to pull in up there. I'll actually find another bit to stop. So yeah, there was definitely a car fire here. See this? Broken glass, melted plastic, burned road. Don't know what happened. So a lot of the fields have been sown. The winter crops are now coming through, as you can see. Will not be as many stubble fields soon. These are great wee roads though. You just got to watch for cars driving too quick on them. You can see the vans and things coming with the height of them, but not the cars. Oh, it's a set gear takeoff and into a big hole. So I never managed to find any more information about Cottyburn Inn down here. It's like it's never actually existed, but locally it seems to be really well known. But even Historic Scotland don't seem to have it listed as an inn, which is really odd. So all the bulbs starting to come up now. A lot of daffodils are up, there you go. A lot of them are already up. I think I missed the best showing of snowdrops down at that tower I was at with Bob the other day. It's to be raining this weekend, so I'm going to just be out next couple of days getting some footage. I'm not arranged to meet anyone, just because I'm probably going to go out in my Jeep tomorrow. Oh, lovely corner that is now. It used to be all knackered, remember, it was all potholes and stuff. It's nice now. So I should have went that way to go to my mum's at Longniddry, but I'll just go on. There you go, actually. Just looking for somewhere to park. So what I'll do is I'll come back, I'll just get my phone to finish this wee film off, and I'll quickly show you my setup with this new camera. Right, so that's me on my mobile now. You can never use mobiles in the wind. So there's the Motion Pro Osmo Pro. Get it right, Bruce. DJI Osmo Pro 5. And it's mounted on my, forgot, the Django or something it is. Mount. There it is, DJ Django. Now this is the bit I'm going to have to sort. I'm not that happy about this. Just set that on there. See how it's moving. So if I put a bit of tape round this, because it's not actually used here, it's used up there to grip, with a big massive washer, the magnet mount, which is underneath, trying to get into this, try to do this in one hand. There you go, there's the magnet, right? It'll clamp on and it'll sit there. And I think that'll work quite good, because with this helmet being solid here, it's not going to get hit too bad with the wind, and hopefully you hear the sound out round the sides, and that gives you the noise of the bike, the engine and stuff. So yeah, I need to work out something better for that. Probably using the magnet. I can't even drill this and run a cable tie around because of the switches, the buttons. Right, we'll just stick this back on if you watch. Another thing, forgot to mention, the silicone 3M blobs. Got one on there, one on there. I've put them on the GoPro as well. I got them, we got them from Amazon for like £4 for a pack of 10. And it just means when your gloves, you can actually touch them. So I had large gas mask bags in here, you might remember. This one's got my foam puncher weld stuff in it. I just got a pack light jacket. So obviously knowing the genuine Royal Enfield, look at the rust. Remember this all rusted before? I have noticed though my frame rails have got a bit of rust on them. Overall though, the bike's holding up well. You know, that would clean up. The chips on the rims have rusted up when I chipped them originally. The bars these are knackered, look. I'm going to make a new brace, I told you about that before. I'm going to work that out. The stainless pipe, because it's got rust on it, but it's stainless. So work that one out. It'll clean off. But as soon as you stop putting the salt on, it'll get, see there's rough salt there that will just wipes off. The whole thing will get a massive power wash, and we'll see how it looks. I've told you the story about this bike, so I'll put this on. I had a van failure with my engine, and I just bought this bike, so I started running it to work. And then, cut long story short, I bought a reconditioned engine, which turned out to be not a reconditioned engine, with faults. So my mechanic sorted the faults. And as we moved on into the winter, and the road salt hit, I rode this to work. And as you know, I rode it through the first winter of ownership. So that was the winter of 22, 23. And then that's when I sprayed it with Lano Guard. And then later I sprayed it with XCP. And I decided it's going to be a sacrifice bike. which sounds a bit weird, but I'm just going to run it out of the ground and I'll just buy another one after 3 or 4 years, and which I'm still going to do. I'll not repeat myself, go on about how I've changed everything, and I wouldn't bother doing that again. I just buy another one and just run it. I might buy a Hunter next just because it's something different. I don't know. You know, it's the same engine though. It's that, I love those JC engines, and it's still running on the 2050 oil. So, and if it blows up, it blows up. Because remember, I bought a spare engine. I don't even know if I'll ever need that spare engine, but it's sitting there under the bench. So, it's been brilliant. So, someone appearing on this channel will go like, what the hell have you done to that bike? It's only, well, it's 3 years old in June. Well, you know what I've done with it. I've used it. Oh, the mudguard thing. Remember I bought another mudguard. I'm going to take this one off because this one's all bent. I'm going to paint the other one green, put it on standard. Then we're going to make the bracket for in here. And I can put this one back on in winter. But I might look at extending that bracket there an inch and raising the standard one up. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. And the number plate's just going to stay on the other one. And don't ask me if that's legal, blah, blah, blah. I'm sick. I'm actually kind of wanting to take it off. Not for the law and asking me about it or that, but just other people, other motorcyclists greeting about it. I mean, just shut up. Just shut up. The worst thing about motorcyclists is some other motorcyclists. There you go. I don't care. I don't care what folk think. Same with that. That's held on with Velcro. I could just pull that off, give it a wipe, it's yellow. And that's what I'll do come MOT time. Anyway, I'm going to put it all down here. Which way will we go? What time we got? That's fine. I said to Mum we'd be at hers for 1. So we'll just go up this road. You've been up this road a few weeks ago with me. It no matter. Down through past Cottyburn then. So I need to work out how to mount the mic on the side of my open face helmet as well, right on the inside, because we want to wear my open face in the summer. If I do that, I'll probably just wear my chest mount. I've actually never done a film. I did one film, I think, with an open face on. But it's just for when I'm going to stop to look at things locally. We'll see. So yeah, the old inn that doesn't seem to exist historically. Aye, whatever, as I always say. So whenever I refer to someone saying, aye, whatever, it really means I've heard what I've heard. I'll just leave it at that, and I'm not getting involved in a discussion. Which is what happens between my reg plates to, is that legal, is that legal? I mean, whatever. But yeah, it's going to be probably cold about 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. But oh, look at the daffodils, they're lovely. They are nice, and they've even mowed the grass as well. That's nice, that. I kind of laugh thinking about the old boys when you see them on the TV. All this was fields when I was a lad. Well, this bit still is. But a lot of areas now aren't, sadly. Is it progress? I don't know. The thing I'm going to touch on with a future film is just how they've lost the character of the small villages with the modern architecture. I mean, if you think that looks boring, well, okay. But as I say, folk have to live somewhere. So, yeah. That's a big field for horses, isn't it? Whoa, I think we'll just give way to him. That's local farmer Morrison's. He was a friend of my dad, and the gamekeepers as well used to come round. Remember shooting on Gosford Estate. Okay folks, we'll wrap this up. We're back in Long Nidri now. I'm off to cut my mum's grass. So I'll probably make another film when I go home today, going somewhere else, and that'll be for another day. So there'll be extra films this week. If they're not watched straight away, folk will watch them when they get the time. So as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.